Hello, everyone, and welcome to Flickering Myth. My name's EJ Marino, and we have a wrestling conversation coming to this channel. I am so excited to dive into this. This is one of my little secret passions, so I can bring it to the channel. And joining me is Alan and Gerald. Hello, gentlemen.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm really excited for this. This has an interesting little baggage. I am a weekly AEW watcher, so is Gerald. But Alan, you down over here, this is kind of new territory for you.
It is. I watched like the first couple episodes of Dynamite. And that was just kind of I liked it, but I just was kind of doing too much stuff. And I was like, I can't keep I can't pile wrestle onto all that I'm doing now. So.
In general, weekly wrestling is a struggle, even for me who passionately loves AEW. Weekly wrestling is hard. I haven't watched a WWE since 2017, so I've been so out of that loop with what their weekly stuff is, and from what I hear, you don't really want to watch it weekly over there. um I do not know much, so if anyone's waiting to hear WWE stuff, I know nothing. Roman Reigns is champion, that's all I know.
Yeah, we probably won't be covering it on this channel, I don't think.
No, this seems to be mostly
Sorry.
AEW. So Alan, I want to start with you. What was your general feelings of watching this show? What did you kind of take away?
This is a lot of fun, and I kind of wish I'd been keeping up with it because I enjoyed this a hell of a lot more than I enjoyed any of the last few years I've been watching WWE. So
Yeah, you definitely picked a fun pay-per-view. I usually say AEW is a rare thing that the weekly shows are good and their pay-per-views are good. I remember back in our the Attitude Era at Prime Day, like weekly shows weren't, they were where the pay-per-views weren't that great. Monday Night Raw is what you watched. Give a damn about a pay-per-view. Now,
yeah.
Gerald, what about you? What did you think of this show? You're a usual watcher, so.
I had a lot of fun with this show. The people I wanted to win won.
Okay.
That's always good. There was no match that I could look at and say that didn't need to exist except for the bathroom break, which I think was the same break for both of us.
Yeah.
And of course, I missed the first three matches because I work retail, so I was a little late to the party. And I say first three for two plus the pre-show.
So yeah, we're going to be jumping into kind of a quick match by match. I will go into the first three. Serena Deeb and Riho in the pre-show. It was a good match. It was 14 minutes. Serena Deeb is one of those wrestlers. She reminds me of Randy Orton in a lot of ways, where I may not be the most thrilled by her matches, but girl can get in and work. And it was a really good match, a solid 14-minute NWA Women's World Title match, which I love that NWA gets a little Billy Corgan. You're doing something with your company. I think he still owns. So
Yeah, I think so.
fine. All right. So then we went to Hangman Page versus Brian Cage, which was a really solid opener. Hangman, if you don't know, Alan is the sad millennial cowboy. He
I'm aware of him.
he's a lovely gent. He had a really good match with Brian Cage. He whooped his ass, and there was storyline progression. So Brian was trying to do this without the help of Team Taz, which is Taz's group of his child and his other person that looks like his child. So Brian said, "Hey, y'all, I don't want your help. I do not need this." They came out and interfered, cost Brian Cage the match. So there is drama in Team Taz, which is good. We both know, or all three of us know as wrestling fans, interference in the ending is not always great and rarely does progress storylines. So it was good to see. Then the last one you guys did not see, which was a banger, which was the Young Bucks versus John Moxley and Eddie Kingston. Uh, Whoa, this was a tag match. There was a moment where I actually thought Eddie Kingston and John Moxley were going to win the tag titles. I am usually in the camp that feels two singles wrestlers should not win tag belts.
Right.
That seems to not be great, but they got me. These like angry, mean deathmatch boyfriends is a great gimmick for these two characters, and it's great. Young Bucks being the the Ned Flanders' children as a gimmick is great as well. Their little very Christian gimmick they have is amazing. Yeah, it was a good match. I don't want to like spend too much time on these because you guys didn't really spend too much time on them, just kind of filling you in on those. So you guys jumped in for the Battle Royal, I would imagine, right?
Yes.
And what did you guys think of that, Alan? We'll start with you.
Oh, that was a good time. I like the structure of it. I like the 5 at a time. Royal Rumble rules, but it keeps a bit better of a pace. Now, you can throw it in the middle of a show.
Yes, this had a lot of people you were probably not the most familiar with. Was there a standout in this match for you? Someone that you were like, oh, wow, I want to watch more of them?
No. Not yet, but I did like Luke Perry's kid, Jungle Boy.
Okay, good. What about you, Gerald? Was any of your favorites in this match? Because this match had a pretty crazy thing. We had like Christian Cage in this match, Matt Sydal, we had Max Caster, which I heard Alan had to learn about Max Caster tonight, the rapper.
That was my favorite part of tonight. I got to introduce some of these characters and apologize for them sometimes. Max Caster is he's got good bars. I love his diss tracks on the way to the ring.
It's a great gimmick. It's instant heat, which I love a good person like, because I don't think he is that great of a rapper, but that's also kind of great for it. Like, if he was a good rapper,
that was the joke.
Yes, that is kind of the joke, is that he's not great, but he does have zingers, which is great. Yeah. It reminds me of very baby John Cena when he was a rapper, which did you guys ever hear John Cena's rap album?
Yeah.
I heard
what do you think you're talking to?
just had a
of course I have.
But yes, also in this match were people I really enjoy. I love me some Evil Uno, who is a member of the Dark Order with his fun gimp mask. He's a really cool person. But this was definitely a showcase for Jungle Boy, who is one of AEW's biggest stars. And I honestly thought Christian was going to win this match. He had a brief interaction with Kenny Omega a couple weeks ago. Actually, when he first debuted, kind of around that time, where I was like, oh, they're setting up Christian Kenny Omega. I've never seen that match. That's new. And I was happy to see
good.
I was happy to see though that Christian let Jungle Boy over, and that's nice.
I love that.
That's so more fun. I'm always in the camp of putting over new people. Especially when they're clearly over, like when they've clearly got a crowd behind them. And not, I'm just so beaten down by WWE being like, you want this?
Yeah.
No. You know what's gonna sell WWE WrestleMania tickets is this old guy that wrestles twice a year. Like,
yeah.
So yes, seeing somebody new be put up front like that is fun.
Yeah, and kind of going to former WWE people that made an appearance. Mark Henry, actually, we'll kind of throw this in now. He got signed, which have always been a big fan of Mark Henry, from Sexual Chocolate back in the day when he was there with Mae Young and they gave birth to a hand, to when he was the badass in his mid-2000s reign where he was just whooping ass. I think Mark Henry is a good person, and he's not here to wrestle. That's what I also like. He is just there to help, which is he has infinite knowledge.
Yeah.
And we need more people like him. So yeah,
that's how I feel about the older guys, the old WWE crowd that they have in there. Is we might be getting matches from them now, like one we'll talk about later, but I feel like they were brought in for their knowledge, not for the 30-minute matches.
Well, yeah, I think Christian was like a great asset for them. He, as much as he's still can go in the ring, what he can give to a young Jungle Boy, just knowledge, it's that's hard to find.
Yeah, I'm all for the occasional putting over an old guy and doing something interesting with him, but just not like the constant. the constant fucking over of your younger talent just for that marquee.
Speaking of, let's move on to Cody Rhodes versus Anthony Ogogo. This whole feud has been masked in controversy. Unexpectedly honest, Cody's not the most. He's liked within this company, but I don't think he is the internet's favorite wrestler. I don't think he's many people's favorite wrestler, but he decided to do a very America inspired promo, which has led to some controversy that, that his mixed baby was gonna cure racism. That was the fun memes of it. Like, it was such a weird thing he was using, but to do the America versus UK thing, what did you guys think of that? As a quick gimmick, what did you guys feel? Too dated or
Let me go ahead and say, because I want to hear Alan on this for a second, but I'm going to go ahead and say that whenever you're doing like the foreigner versus USA, if the foreigner's like just British, what's the point? It's like, oh no, it's another person who does the exact same stuff we do but drives on the other side of the road. Yeah. There's not much of an enemy there, so that's stupid to begin with. But I don't know, like, I understand it's Memorial Day weekend, so maybe get a little in there for the troops, but oof,
Cody's not a troop. He's not
no.
and there was just an aesthetic of this. Anthony Ogogo, I saw a great meme. I will quote this from it. Glad Cody Rhodes brought racial unity to America by beating the visually impaired mixed race immigrant Olympic hero. Because it felt odd. Like Ogogo is like an Olympic. He has a bronze medal in boxing, which is great. What did you guys think of this match? I took a break for this match. Did either one of you guys get invested in it? Was it good? Did Ogogo show out? This is actually one of his first marquee matches.
I probably enjoyed it more than Gerald did. I like Cody Rhodes.
Okay.
So, granted, I haven't followed Cody Rhodes through AEW, which seems to be the controversy.
He's a good person, like a nice guy outside of the ring, and very charming and good. I just don't particularly like Cody as a wrestling character. That's I want to differentiate. He's a nice person. I just don't particularly. Something about the Cody wrestling character. This felt very other company for me. The storyline, the match, the way Cody wrestles, it feels very 10 years ago. But
so here's something that Alan was thinking the whole time. He thought that Cody was the heel. He thought that was intentional. No. I had to explain. No, he's the babyface. He's been the babyface for 2 years.
I think Cody's the heel, and you guys are marks.
There was layers to it. Cody's definitely worked people as well. I don't know. There was a sense of how the crowd reacted told me he was the babyface, though.
Which is stupid. It's like they made his character of Cody Rhodes, like they're like, let's do Roman Reigns tongue in cheek. Like, just push it. I'm going to push him down your throats so much and make everything the most ridiculous I'm the good guy bullshit, and continue selling me as the underdog when obviously I've just won so many matches. But, like a little tongue in cheek, but we never see the tongue go into the cheek.
Alan, what are you going to say?
He's literally like beat for beat doing what his dad did in NWA WCW. Like,
he did,
but literally Dusty Rhodes.
But Dusty
the whole Dusty Rhodes arc.
Dusty usually wasn't the bad guy in those scenarios. He was always fighting the other more privileged people. Cody, that the son of the plumber BS that Dusty used to do, worked for Dusty. I believed it. Cody has a silver spoon, and he's had it forever.
Yes, and I think that's the bite, and I think that will be the eventual turn.
Oh yeah,
that's the only way to make it good. I mean, but I would let them play the long game.
We've never had a pro-America Homelander-esque bad guy before. We've never had white privilege be a villainy storyline, and I think that would be fun. I definitely agree with you, Alan. I would like to see it. It just felt like this one was maybe not my favorite storyline and build.
There wasn't a whole lot of juice there, I'll be honest.
But hey, Ogogo's here. I think he's a talent. He can grow. This is one of his first big matches like this, so he's still growing. Let's move on to one of my low-key favorite matches of the night: Miro versus Lance
That's
Archer.
great. This is such a good time.
There's a meme from years ago of Big E from WWE about big meaty men slapping meat.
Slapping meat.
This was a big meaty men slapping meat kind of match, and I loved it. I love a hoss fight, and
Exactly.
we don't really get those anymore because, again, I love my small indie wrestlers. I love my little Leo Rush who popped up in the Casino Battle Royale, who's all of this big. I love it. I think that's great. But Miro is a monster, and Lance Archer, I remember him as Lance Hoyt back in TNA, where he used to walk around with a Guitar Hero guitar. Bad. Cringe. He had a tramp stamp that, well, he still has a tramp stamp, but it was smaller and more trampy, less stampy as it is now. He's great, though. He's a talent. He's a big guy that I love, a big guy who can do the little Undertaker old school, but with a moonsault. What did you guys think of this one? Because this was one of my favorites of the night.
I love a talented big guy match. I'm not much for like slow guys just kind of wailing on each other, but something like this where there's some actual athleticism to it, that's like, I'm fucking there for it. Like, too many little guys have propagated and got big, and they're very talented and they deserve it, whatever. But like, it makes something like this feel more special, as where this used to be kind of like the meat and potatoes of wrestling.
Smaller guys were the novelty. They were the gimmick match. And now big men are the gimmick match. Gerald, what did you think of this one?
Again, it's good seeing a hoss fight in this situation where everybody else is like your tope suicida, 630s and all that. So that was great. I did have one problem with this match and a couple of others.
Was it the snake throwing?
No, that's fine. That's good heat.
Yeah.
But this is the first time we've really had these crowds with these wrestlers. And there's so many matches, this one being a big one, where the heel had the most of the crowd behind them. Yeah. Because Miro is just a force of nature and he's so good. And you can't help but to love him, even when he's a shit heel. So I'm hoping that they don't turn the characters with the crowd.
Yes, that is the trick. I noticed that with the next match with Brit Baker. That one is going to be a struggle with her because she's well loved. But Alan, seeing Miro in here, you've probably seen him as Rusev. What do you think of this newer vibe? Do you believe this more? Is this a little bit where you think he should be?
I mean, it's certainly better than whatever, like, pretending he's from Russia and then finally gets to admit he's from Bulgaria. Whatever nonsense that was. Yeah, he seems like he has a personality.
Yeah. I
don't know if he's quite got a compelling character from what I've seen.
It's grown from even AEW, but I need more. I think like Lance Archer feels like a realized character without having to go that extra mile. He's like scary big man. I don't know. There's just something about him I like. I'm going to move on now to my favorite match of the evening. I think Brit Baker versus Hikaru Shida.
Match.
You know, the AEW women's division has gone through a journey. It got bashed all of last year. It was critiqued for having a lot of green women, but WWE has scooped up all of the like big named women, so they really had to kind of make their own stars here or pull from Joshi. I think Shida did a great job over the pandemic being the champion. She's really carried a division when there wasn't fans. And then to see Britt Baker, oh my goodness. Alan, is this one of your first experiences with Miss Baker?
Yeah, apart from images of her bloody that I've seen on the internet. Yes, this is the
powerful
first thing I've
shots.
seen with her.
What do you think?
She's fantastic.
A star, like
yes,
there,
ton of charisma, ton of talent. It was just a whole lot of fun to watch.
What about you, Gerald? What did you think of this? What do you think of Britt?
Oh, yeah, I mean, I'm a huge Britt mark. I hated her when I first saw her because yet again they brought her out as the woman you saw there. You knew she was the face of the division, but they in that face way where it's like, oh, she's a female Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
But the moment they're like, yeah, she's a heel now, I was like, oh, this is where she needs to be.
And she talked about never being a heel before in her life. This was her first round at it last year. She, Alan, for you reference, she broke her leg last year and went through some stuff where she couldn't wrestle, but she was in a wheelchair, which instantly she was hilarious. She was like, she had a golf cart. She was having people push her around, which was Rebel slash Reba. It was great. She worked on this character and is now this evil dentist, but like I love it. I do the DMD thing with her. I don't know. She just has a star quality. What did you guys think of this match, Alan? What did you think it was good?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It actually had me captivated for
Yeah.
the most part. Like
Oh, there was those moments where Shida at the end, I was like, oh, Shida's winning. Like they had such good chemistry.
Oh yeah. By the end of it, like the prior matches hadn't really reeled me in. And then by the end of this match, I was like fully zeroed in on the show. So
That's
it was the turning point.
That's so good to hear. I love, again, since all the flack this women's division had at one point to see where it is now, it makes me happy. Joe, did you enjoy this match as well?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I was glad to see her get her coronation with the crowd. The only downside is Shida, like you said, carried the division. So for them to finally get a crowd back and they're like, yoink, it makes me a little sad.
It makes me sad, but I also think out of any human being on a roster, Sheet is like, I understand that, like Brit is the hottest Brit will ever be right now. So capitalize on this. Like she is such an over wrestler. It would have been so dumb to not give her the belt right now. So it was this like weird hit or miss, but Sheeta gets to keep the old belt, I think. So she gets that that trophy of like, look, because they replaced belts recently, Alan. They made it a little bit bigger. That first belt was like a child size. It was a tiny belt. So yes, Britt Baker is our new women's champion. Do you feel like she's going to have a good future in this division?
Oh yeah, I think she's going to run through the card until we finally get like that major thing. The best thing I think they could do, even though I know they've done this a lot, keep Thunder Rosa off the show and have her just be a dominating champion until Rosa's like, hey, me and you.
Yeah,
we've got unfinished business.
I whooped your ass in an unsanctioned match. I should deserve this title. Yeah, that's good. That's good booking. I would love to see it. All right, we're moving on to an interesting match. What did you guys think of Darby Allin and Sting versus Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page? Allin, there's these 4 characters I really need your opinion on. Mostly Darby and Sting. How do you feel about that?
Okay, when I saw the card for it, was not in at all. When I saw that stupid vignette of Sting picking up like a hitchhiking Darby Allin, I was like, this is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever seen, and I'm in.
I forgot you've never seen the Darby Allin short films that he makes. Oh my god, his like very pretentious artsy movies he makes. They're insane. But it seems like this warmed you up. Did you enjoy the match?
I actually did. Like it's good to see Sting, old man though he is, being utilized in a proper way. He's not out front. He's not like headlining anything.
Yeah.
He's just in a good supporting role. I liked Darby Allin, despite not liking that name at all, because I know where he pulled it from, and I'm not interested.
I'm really, when I told you his name, you were just like, of course it is. Like, of course.
It's just Darby Crash and G.G. Allin. Darby Crash I don't have a problem with. I don't like people reminding me that G.G. Allin exists, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that is definitely Darby's aesthetic, though. He's a very talented guy. He has a thing about him, which is hard, I think, in wrestling. He's cool. I know his short film maybe did not sell that to you, Alan, but like he is cool. Like little kids want to dress up like him, like unironically, like people like him. And it's hard to find people who aren't forced cool. I love Orange Cassidy, but the gimmick of him is supposed to be cool. Like there's this thing where Alan, he reminds me of like an early Jeff Hardy, where there is no flash to it other than he's a crazy person. It's like, people just connect with it.
Yeah.
Gerald, what did you think of having Sting in a first actual match? Because he had the cinematic match, so this was his first real one.
He did better than I expected. When he came like diving off the stage, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I didn't know we were getting that.
He should have left his jacket on, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, but I don't know. There's just something about seeing him. I am a WCW kid growing up. I have photos of me in Sting masks, so I have a soft spot for him. I'm not usually here for older guys winning, especially that he got the win over Scorpio.
I have a soft spot for that unitard though. Like needs to stop.
Yeah, and
but all in all, like I assumed that Scorpio was actually going to get the pin on Sting. I thought that would be the best way to get heat, is just beat the shit out of Sting.
Was Scorpio Nipple Guy?
No, he was the other one.
Okay.
Nipple Guy was
Ethan Page.
All Ego Ethan Page.
I like Ethan Page. He has a quality to him, but he is the most tooly looking tool that's ever tooled.
Oh yeah,
his nipples are ridiculous.
He has an issue with his nipples.
They're just forced facing front.
They are very the fembots a little bit from Austin Powers. It's a little much. It's good talent though. Good. I'm glad you guys like this one. All right. So we kind of pre-talked about this match a little bit. I was not in love with the AEW World Championship match as much as you two were.
I'll get it.
I think it was
match of the night.
Okay, I think yes, it was probably one of the better technical ones. I just thought the ending with the Good Brothers, there was something about Cassidy waiting for that punch when Don Callis was coming out to interfere. It just felt like I don't know. I just felt that this pacing at the end got really sloppy, and that was my only complaint with the match. Before that, they got me to believe Orange Cassidy was going to win this match. I knew he wasn't, or this is Kenny's thing, but they got my little wrestling brain to go, oh shit, I think he has this. But what did you guys think? Because I said my problems with the overbooking at the end. Gerald, what did you think?
Everybody had great spots. I love how Orange Cassidy started off making you think it was going to be Slacker Cassidy. Yeah. And he was just like, law fooled you, and went fucking all out from the beginning. That was great. Everyone had fantastic moments in the match, and nobody looked bad in this, which is hard to do in a three-way match.
Yeah.
We all knew who was going to win going into this. As much as I hate to say it, Kenny Omega has not gathered all of the Infinity Stones yet. So
yeah, he needs that New Japan one that has been been vacated now. So God, that belt's so ugly.
You can't have him drop a belt while the gimmick is him gathering belts.
Belt collector, yes. No, Alan, you've probably seen Orange Cassidy from the internet and from things. What did you think of him in this match, though? Like, probably your first full experience with him. So
yeah, he was fun. Like, it is my first full experience seeing him, apart from you guys sharing little things or whatever. But I would have liked to have seen him win. Yeah. So like I was behind him the whole time.
No complaints about the Pixies.
No
complaints about Where Is My Mind?
Because I like the Pixies.
A great needle drop for a song. Every time I hear it, I just think of Fight Club as the angsty 30-year-old man that I am. So, but yeah, no, I'm glad you like him, because Orange is a very divisive character on the internet. The hardcore purists feel he's mocking wrestling. I feel he is one of my first wrestlers that I feel is aware that he is a wrestler. There's this like self-aware Deadpool quality to him that's like, oh no, I know I'm a wrestler. Like I know what I'm doing. I just think it's fun.
Part of the thing tonight was I got to explain to Alan and his wife about a lot of the characters in the show. And the way I explained Orange Cassidy was that he was a fantastic wrestler who hated that he was a wrestler.
Yeah. For nerds, I always compare him to Beerus from Dragon Ball Z, where he is this unstoppable force if he chose to be, but he would rather just be lazy and be lovely. And I'm like, I think that's a great gimmick. I think we need more slacker gimmicks.
I cannot believe anybody's like, but he's mocking wrestling. Like,
wrestling is mocking wrestling.
Wrestling mocks itself and has been like the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you understand wrestling.
Yeah, like with his leg things, people complain about his little kicks that he does, and I'm like, but like, it's all on the other character. No one believes that he's hurting them. That's the thing. Like, I just.
Yeah.
So, what did you guys think of Pac in this match? We don't have as much time. I want to wrap this up soon, but what did you guys? Any surprise about Pac's there? Any you guys like him?
That he was at all compelling or interesting as a character was surprising to me. He's very talented in the ring.
Yeah.
I remember liking him whenever he was doing the cruiserweight stuff with WWE, but he's not very charismatic.
He has this energy to him, but
he put something together here, so that was cool for me. I think it's funny and kind of heartening to hear you like act like this is one of the worst main event or worst title matches that you've seen, because I come from last stuff I watched was a bunch of WWE, and you didn't get matches like this. Rare was the day you got a match that was this much fun.
And I love that literally one of my like not favorite matches in AEW is still a very good match.
Yes.
That's just, that to me shows you the caliber. Like, I still think it's a very good match. Just had some issues with the ending, but it's a heel champion. There's no one I wanted to lose clean, so I'm kind of glad it was dirty. So yeah, it's something I just didn't love it, but there was something I did enjoy. Speaking of overbooked and overly insane and insanity and cray much, Alan, you didn't see last year's Stadium Stampede, which I will note I do think is a little bit better than this one. I was more invested in last year's for some reason. This one was good. What did you think of this insanity?
It's ridiculous. This is like, oh my god,
it's camp.
Yes, absolutely. This seems like a bad mode in a wrestling video game.
Well, at one point they walked into Def Jam Vendetta, like the Santana and Ortiz in the club stuff with Conan, and I was like, well, this is Def Jam Vendetta, and I loved it. Like, I was waiting for DMX to come yell at me in the game or something. Like, it was good. So yeah, but did you enjoy it? You said ridiculous.
Yes, of course I enjoyed it. Like, turn up the idiocy on something to 11, and I'm in. Like, I'm 100% supportive.
Was there anyone from this match that stood out to you? Was there a star? I feel this was a big Sammy Guevara match, and he was good.
I guess this is the first I'm seeing of him. Do I know him from somewhere else? Okay. Yeah, that'd be the first I'm seeing of him. What's his name? He was Jack Swagger.
Oh, Hager. Hager.
Jake Hager. Like, he's fun now.
That's cool. Yeah. What about MJF? Any feelings on MJF?
Not from what I saw. I think I've heard he's like a really good heel. I'm like, this is schoolyard bully shit. Like, anybody can do what I'm seeing him do. Maybe he's done better elsewhere, but
yes, this isn't his best work. But Gerald, what did you think of this?
So, like you said, MJF, he's still good in the ring, but he's a better promo than a wrestler.
Yes.
He is the best heel in the business because of his promos.
And he's heel all the time, Alan. I will say, he, like, at meet and greets, he hates you. On the internet, he hates you. He does not break at all. His interviews are great. They're mean. Yes.
But as far as the match itself, there were so many great moments. Yeah, again, it didn't live up to the first. Like, the first had some of those moments, like the 100-yard German suplex and Omega and Paige at the bar with the milk and the beer. But this was still fantastic. I loved how you went from like the Hoss fight to this kung fu flick with spears and
with the chair room that they were in. Oh my goodness.
So good.
Yeah. This same thing happened last year with the Stadium Stampede. They're allowed to break off into different matches. Like you said, they had this match, they had this match. It was good. It was structured very well. It was easy to digest. I find sometimes this match with 10 people in a cinematic format could be hard to like grab moments from, but each one had a moment I remember. I loved the running into the Jacksonville Jaguars coaches, stuff like that. Little Tim Tebow. I was honestly waiting for Tim Tebow to like pray for them in this match or something. I was doing, yeah, I had fun with this one. This one was camp, and I love when wrestling, again, there's people who will like this match, but then critique Orange Cassidy, and I'm like, they're the same. They are equal. Like, there's
okay, he mocks wrestling, but this takes it dead seriously. Okay, fuck you.
Yeah, and the whole lead up to this, they were like, we're going to do a more serious Stadium Stampede. Last year's was all joke, and I'm like, Stadium Stampede is the name of this. It cannot be serious.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, and then they fucking rappel off the Tron there. That was so good.
Oh, good. It's an aesthetic.
That was an immediate like tone setter. I was like, okay.
I love that AEW has their unique match though. Every year, I think we'll get a faction war in Stadium Stampede, and I love that.
I don't know if we'll get that every year. I think this was definitely a product of the pandemic, and I think this might have been the send off, and I love the fact that it ended in Daly's place.
Yeah.
And I think that was the best like send off to this era of AEW.
Yeah, if you do it every year, you would have to just like gradually escalate it, and eventually, they're just like having full on war with guns.
Yeah.
Shooting each other.
Just going to throw you in the jungles of Uganda and see who survives.
Well, gentlemen, we ran through this full time on our Zoom call. Thank you so much for joining me. This was a fun pay-per-view to dive into. I hope we can do this more. Thankfully, there's not too many pay-per-views, so we can do this every couple months, regroup, and have a fun AEW talk. Thank you guys so much. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Subscribe to Flickering Myth and give us a thumbs up. Thank you guys so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having us.
Awesome.